It is my pleasure to welcome the class of 2017, their families and friends, and our faculty to the hooding and oath ceremony for the School of Medicine. I would like to recognize the distinguished faculty who join us on the platform today. Deans John Riley, Robert Anderson, Shanta Zimmer, Eva Agard, and Nicole Zender, our speaker, Governor John W. Hickenlooper Jr., and our guests, Dr. Wagner Shore and Dr. Robert Yakeley. On behalf of the class, I would like to recognize and thank the faculty marshals. These individuals were selected by our graduates in recognition of their service to the class and have the honor of leading them to the ceremony. The marshals this year are Drs. Melver Anderson, Daniel Bessison, Thomas French, Ty Lochspizer, Steve Lowenstein, and Matt Rustici. We would like to take a moment to honor and thank those who have served in our military. I apologize. Could I have all of our graduates sit? We would like to take a moment to thank and honor those who have served in our military. Would our graduating students who have served in or have matched to the military please stand? I also invite our faculty and guests please remain standing. Please remain standing. I also invite our faculty and guests who have served or are serving to please stand as well. Please join me in thanking all of them. Thank you. Class of 2017, you have been a delightful class, and your many collective accomplishments before and during medical school are truly remarkable. We have been particularly impressed with your talents and your caring for both each other and your patients. On behalf of your faculty, we would like to thank the families and friends of our students for allowing us to share their lives. This is a special day, and we are pleased and blessed to share it with you. Clayton Garth has been selected by the members of the class of 2017 to speak on their behalf at commencement today. Dr. Garth came to the School of Medicine with a bachelor's degree in history from Boston University. Following his undergraduate degree, he became an EMT and worked on an ambulance. He volunteered in Africa, and he was also a medic for search and rescue. Dr. Garth is also a filmmaker and a writer, having written a novel, several short stories and screenplays, and having made 2 short narrative films. This year, he was selected by his peers for the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Garth to the podium.
Dr. Garth. I'm just taking a moment to appreciate this moment. That was my advice this morning. This isn't my speech, this is just extemporaneous. My advice this morning was, today is going to go by really fast, and just to enjoy every aspect of it. So, all right. Guys, we did it. What an incredible 4 years. It was quite a challenge, as it turned out. And it was simultaneously the fastest and the longest 4 years of my life. But it's fun to kind of imagine how the MD PhDs feel. What were they thinking, right? But it's paying out for them today. Double the doctor, double the fun. So thank you guys for letting me speak. I'm honored, I'm humbled to be up here. You guys are the most extraordinary and inspiring people that I've ever met. You are all genuine, you're kind-hearted, you're brilliant. And over the last 4 years, the 2 questions I ask myself the most are, how do you guys do it? And how can I be like that? So for me to be on this stage, it feels like you've chosen Neville Longbottom to be head boy. If only this was Hogwarts. I think this is a funny graduation. Because while it's the end of something really momentous, it's also the beginning. In fact, in 2 weeks, we're jumping right back in to more rigorous medical training. So when I've been thinking about graduation and where we've been and where we are and where we're going, it always reminds me, and I'm sure every one of you, of just one thing: the Battle of Marathon in 490 BC. Right? Miltiades, what are we going to do? You guys all know. You all know. I probably don't have to explain. Monica's got a PhD in history, right? No? No history PhDs? I guess it's up to Longbottom. In 490 BC, under Darius the Great, the ancient Persian Empire decided, I think I'm going to invade Athens. So they loaded a vast army onto an enormous fleet of ships, and they sailed for Greece. And as anyone who has ever met Jaleh Akavan can attest, Persians are awesome. She's right there. And back in the day, Persia conquered a lot of people. Greece didn't stand a chance. So you can imagine how worried they were when they heard Darius the Great was coming. So they turned to their general, a man named Miltiades. They said, "Miltiades, what are we going to do?" Miltiades knew that the Persians were disembarking their army at Marathon. He made an impassioned plea. He had an idea. He made a plea. He said, "Let's fight the Persians at Marathon." And the Athenians said, "That's insane." "It'll be easy," said Miltiades. "All we have to do is we'll pick up our giant shields," and they had huge shields. They were 3 feet in diameter, big circular brass shields. That matters. Pick up our giant brass shields, our long spears. Let's run in the hot Mediterranean sun, 25 miles to Marathon. We'll take them by surprise. And someone in the crowd said, "It's 26.2 miles to Marathon, actually." But they were moved by his conviction and the earnestness of his words, and they made that forced march to Marathon. And when they got there, Miltiades said, "Okay, boys, warmed up? Good, don't put those shields down. Now's the time. Charge." And they charged the unsuspecting Persian army, and that attack almost failed. The center broke before the Persians, and the flanks barely managed to come together and drive the invaders back onto their ships. And when they did, the Greeks cheered, and they chanted Miltiades' name, and they made rude gestures at Darius. And Darius said, "Good game, Greeks. You cheated. Good game. I can't help but notice that since we're all here on our ships and you guys are at Marathon, we might just sail the rest of the way to Athens and take it undefended. What would you like us to tell your wives and your children?" And now the Greeks were worried, and they turned again to Miltiades. They said, "Miltiades, now what are we going to do?" That's weird to hear my voice echo. Miltiades said, "We're Greeks. Look what we've just done. We ran all the way out here with our heavy things. We fought our enemies in the Mediterranean sun, and we beat them. If we can do that, we can do anything. So all we have to do, let's do that all over again. Let's run back and fight the Persians a second time." "You really are insane," they said. But they did it. Even though they'd just run a marathon and fought a battle, they turned around, they ran another marathon, and they made ready for their next battle. And when the Persian fleet arrived at Athens and saw the Athenian army behind its walls with its wives and its children all gesturing boisterously, Darius thought, that is so rude. And he decided the Persian Empire was better off without those unmannerly Greeks in it. So he went home. So you can see, I hope, why today reminds me of the Greeks at Marathon. Because it's like, we did it! Great job! Wait, we have to go do what now? So what I have to say today is not some secret wisdom that I've been hiding from the world for my own gain. What I have to say is simple. You guys already know it, but I think it's important enough that it bears repeating. There are 2 things I want you guys to remember after today. The first is your dogged ability to pick yourself up when you fall down. Angela Lee Duckworth is a MacArthur genius. She's a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. She studied this. She looked at a broad spectrum of high and low performers. She looked at West Point grads, National Spelling Bee contestants, inner city school teachers. And she found that there was statistically one and only one thing that predicted success, and it wasn't good looks. It wasn't IQ, it wasn't wealth, it wasn't your step one score. It was grit. And she defined grit as having passion and perseverance. And she described grit as living life like a marathon. Anybody? It all weaves together. So grit is what you all have. Grit is that dogged ability that I mentioned. It's determination. It's never quitting. It's not letting the fear of failure hold you back. All of us has failed at something. We're all gonna fail again. But having grit is knowing that failure is an opportunity to learn. Having grit is knowing that failing doesn't mean you are a failure. And having grit is knowing that we never fail if we never stop trying. So that's the first thing. Got us all to today. I know it's going to be crucial in the rest of our career, but I think the second thing is more important. That's why I saved it for last. We all know what it's like to get knocked down and get back up again and again and again until we can't. And we lay down and we say, I'm done. And someone else pulls us onto our feet, gives us back our shields, and they say, no, you're not. You can do this. You have more to give. It is hard to be that person. Ask anybody in the crowd here today. And there's a lot of you guys here today. It's a hard job. Too often it's unthanked, or worse, it's unnoticed. We're not in this alone. We all have those people in our lives who keep us going, who ground us and give us perspective, who inspire us. They are the well that rejuvenates us. And a well can go dry if we don't give it the attention and the affection that it needs. So this is the second thing I want you guys to remember. We're not in this alone. We need to remember to refill our well and thank the people in our lives who have gotten us to today. And it might go something like this. Sarah Garth, my wife, you've been taking care of a baby for years, and you've also had to raise our son. You're my hero. I could not have done this without you, so today is for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. You guys have done something admirable, and I know you're going to do more spectacular things. Medical school was quite a challenge. Residency is going to be hard. But the hardest moments in our lives are the times that define us. And like the Greeks at Marathon, you already have exactly what it takes to succeed. You have the grit to run a marathon and turn around and run another. Ian Eisenhower has literally done this. You are surrounded by people who will say what you need to hear and can help you do what must be done, even if it sounds insane. So I'd like to thank my friends and my classmates. You guys are my role models. You give me courage, and I want to thank our teachers and professors and all the staff behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Your tireless efforts did not go unnoticed. You guys are the staff right here. Your tireless efforts did not go unnoticed. Your mission is noble. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Congratulations to everybody here today. Thank you. You printed it out. That was nice. That was thoughtful.
Thank you, Dr. Garth. I'd like to now ask Dr. Brenna Benson, co-president of the class of 2017, to come to the podium.
Governor John W. Hickenlooper has dedicated his life to serving Colorado citizens since he began his political career as mayor of Denver in 2003. Due to his innovative ideas and strategies to improving Denver, He was named one of the top 5 big city mayors in America by Time magazine in 2005. Prior to his political career, Governor Hickenlooper had already changed Denver's history by collaborating with 3 other entrepreneurs to start the first craft brewery in the city, a little place in Lodo called Wine Coop Brewery. Yeah, it's pretty good beer. After many successful years as our city's mayor, Governor Hickenlooper ran for Colorado governor in 2010, becoming the first Denver mayor to be inaugurated as a state governor in 150 years. Furthermore, he was the first geologist to become a governor in the history of our country, demonstrating a smooth transition between rock expert to political guru. Governor Hickenlooper has always been a champion for supporting the good of the community, something that is evident in his support of our healthcare system. Governor Hickenlooper has fought to maintain healthcare coverage for all, including support for an integrated primary care and behavioral health system. Just last week, in the wake of the worsening opioid epidemic, Governor Hickenlooper visited this campus to sign a bill to create a Center for Research into Substance Abuse. With his unrelenting dedication to Colorado citizens and his passionate commitment to remove barriers to healthcare, we are incredibly proud and grateful to have such an accomplished individual speak to us today. Please join me in welcoming Governor John W. Hickenlooper.
Thank you, Brenna. That was a very kind introduction. And, you know, I couldn't help but remember, you graduates are too young to remember Ed Sullivan. But he had an entertainment show, a variety show for many years on television. And he always said, never follow a kid or a pet trick. You don't want to ever go on stage after them. I would add to that, don't follow Clayton Garth afterwards. Nice job. Today is a milestone. You're about to graduate from one of the best medical schools at one of the nation's newest and finest healthcare campuses. You are one full step closer to living your dream, already succeeding in a world perhaps as uncertain as any time in modern history. You should certainly be proud. So give yourselves a hand. It's important to celebrate your own success. I also want to recognize the faculty and staff. They're renowned for identifying all manner of science, identifying how genes function. And they have certainly isolated your special genes and pushed you to live up to your potential. I also want to thank my friend of long-standing, Chancellor Don Ellman, for shepherding this great institution into a new era. Don is a man who loves life, and life loves him. So we should give him a round of applause as well. Thanks also to Dean John Riley, who is a relentless champion of this school and its ideals. And of course, the Anschutz family for making sure this world-class community has world-class medical facilities. Please give the dean and the university and the Anschutz family all a big round. That's all the work I'm going to ask from you. Jerry Seinfeld once remarked that the number one fear of human beings is public speaking. Number two, death. So for most people, if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. I don't have that fear, but I do think that storytelling is a way to share thoughts that can be of use. You're also free to ignore me, as I'm someone who took 9 years to get through my undergraduate and graduate degree, which I think will surpass even the longest serving of yourselves. When I think of all the skills that you've gained and the lifetime of learning that's in front of you, 3 words come to mind: strength, empathy, and uncertainty. As with most matters of life and death, your strength is a job requirement. And I'm sure it's certainly been tested these last few years. The strength of your gag reflexes you learned about bodily fluids over lunch, the strength of your commitment to anatomy as you dissected corpses, and the strength to uncover the mysteries of the human body that in many occasions you wished had stayed mysterious. You've strengthened your mastery of a foreign language with terms like brachial plexus, mediastinum, or orbicularis. I had to practice those. You've even learned words that seem redundant. Why call it myocardial infarction when you could just say heart attack? Is it a pulmonary embolism or a blood clot? And you're even strong in your conviction to your wardrobe. Congratulations on getting to that point where you'll be wearing the same outfit for the rest of your lives. But more seriously, as physicians, you'll need another kind of strength, a strength that really only comes from experience. You'll have to tell grieving mothers, daughters, fathers and sons that their biggest, worst fears have come true. You'll tell them you have some bad news and that nothing can be done. And you'll be alone. You'll be the only person that can deliver that diagnosis. But your strength won't just be tested by moments you'll remember. As instruments of healing, your strength is how well you listen, validate, touch, and soothe, day in and day out. Your strength will at times be tested by bureaucracy because healthcare has become a business and companies don't always see the human face that you'll see, the suffering and the joy. Your challenge is to build this strength and use it in your lifelong pursuit. Now, I didn't walk the same path as all of you. As a matter of fact, my path through education was more of a scramble. But on my odyssey through school and life, I picked up some pointers along the way. I learned from my time in restaurants and politics, two worlds that demand knowledge of the human condition, that strength is not strength without empathy. By itself, strength can actually be a weakness. I've learned that the more you listen to your customer about what they want, what they feel, the more likely you will leave them satisfied. And that friendly friction, the way we would design in a restaurant, the bar a little bit closer, too close to the high top tables so that people on a crowded night would bump into each other. And it is science. Once they bump into people, they're more likely to talk to strangers, to talk about themselves. But that friendly friction, that kind of encounter that almost requires that strangers talk to each other, leads to endless possibilities, especially when that person may not have the same life experience that you do. In this divisive, shrinking world, more and more we run into people from different circumstances. Soon, most of the newborns in Colorado will be ethnic or racial minorities. And as public servants, because in many ways that's what you are, it's your obligation to ignore society's framework that tries to force you into buckets. Rural versus urban, or black versus white, left versus right, us versus them. It's a challenge you're going to face for the rest of your lives, and it requires a heavy dose of empathy. I got my first brush with empathy when I was a kid. My mother had been widowed. She had 2 kids. She met my dad, got married, had 2 more kids. I was, and my older siblings would say, still am the baby. And my father got sick when I was 5, and my mom was constantly leaving me and my siblings home alone while she took my dad to the hospital. Like most 7-year-olds, I was a narcissist. And in the 3rd grade at a new school, I was somehow selected to be the narrator, the kind of the central figure in the school play on the history of the world, the history of civilization. And as it turned out, the night of my glory was a rough night for my dad, and my mother couldn't come. And when I got home and was getting ready to go to bed, I was on the landing, my mother was downstairs, and I started shouting at her how she didn't care about me. And my older brother, who's 7 years older and would go on to become an All-American wrestler, came out of his room, swept me into my room, pinned me against the wall, and whispered, "Don't you think that Mom would rather be at school watching you than at the hospital?" My father passed away 3 months later from intestinal cancer, but I never forgot that night, and certainly the lesson in empathy that I learned. For you guys, the challenges of death and empathy are going to be constant. And as your oath states, you'll practice your profession with conscience and dignity. This is your highest task and calling, to save lives and to balance strength with empathy. Half a millennium ago, not quite as far back as the Greeks, Niccolo Machiavelli inscribed the lessons he had learned from a lifetime of power struggles, of war and fallen dynasties, and famously he contemplated the merits of fear and love, whether it was better to be loved than feared, or better to be feared than loved. He found it difficult to unite them, and he didn't know it at the time, but there's a biological basis for this. Testosterone, as an agent for strength, inhibits oxytocin, an agent for warmth. Strength and warmth literally battle each other in our blood. Over the last 4 years, you've learned how to diagnose the tumor and sedate the patient. You've dedicated yourselves to healing the sick, curing disease, and saving lives. But it's equally important how you talk to that person with the tumor, how you empathize with the sick. And you can only learn this through experience. Years and years of experience facing uncertainty. You can't escape the uncertainty of your profession, and hopefully you'll learn to embrace it as part of your profession, just like it's part of mine and part of the human condition. We have all heard about the doctor who made a terrible choice from intense fear or anxiety, but I've had the pleasure of knowing a large number of doctors, and I've never met a bad physician who tried to do the right thing in the face of uncertainty. It's been said that the only real certainty in the world is uncertainty. This is especially true for those of us who can alter the trajectory of people's lives. I recently granted a pardon to a convicted felon. He robbed a couple of video stores at gunpoint 20 years ago and was sentenced to nearly a century in prison. By error, he was released early. He used this twist of fate to change his life, to marry his girlfriend, to raise a family, to buy a home, become deeply involved in his church and his community, to help teenagers get the right path and learn a trade. He reintegrated into Colorado society and became a model resident. And your state representatives, Republicans and Democrats, unanimously voted that after he'd been rearrested and the clerical mistake discovered, that he should be released. Now, all I know are the facts that were presented to me. I can't be certain this man will not break the law again or change for the worse. But Alexander Hamilton said that the first duty of society is justice. And sending this rehabilitated man back to prison could not, by any measure, be justice. Our communities hang on whether we can pursue and uphold justice, rebuild trust, and engage civilly with one another. And I don't have to tell all of you that this is a tumultuous time in our country, especially around health care. Lies are sold as fact, and the power of truth has been weakened. We are in the middle of an identity crisis about where we are and where we're going. We're throwing salt into long festering wounds like injustice and inequality, and we're hardening on these dividing lines. Tomorrow you're going to be thrust into that crisis and onto the front line where the struggle for justice hangs by a thread. And while you're out there making this state and this country a better, a healthier place, know that there are good people in government that will do their best to uphold our end of the bargain. to create a world where more people have access to health care, not less. And we'll make sure the crazy notion that everyone deserves some basic health care someday seems less crazy. We'll stand against those who want to balance the budget on the backs of the poor while easing the burden on the rich and cutting safety nets that have lifted our country for generations. We'll stand with the tens of millions of people who could lose health care just because they were born into the wrong family or fell into homelessness or have a pre-existing condition. And we'll fight to make sure that school lunches aren't taken out of the hands of our most vulnerable children, because this cynicism against the last and the least should not be part of the arc of our history. I know that to a certain extent, that you agree. It's part of why you're here today. It's part of why you've taken on the challenges and the steep hill that your profession demands. Your professional choice was born from your idealism, your unwavering idealism, to not just save lives, but to make communities whole. You're sacrificing in countless ways. You are in many ways unsung heroes for your generation. And you're doing it all with ever more demands on your time. Gone are the days of focusing on medicine and healing alone. Most of you will be more successful if in some way you can also be mentors and therapists and even lawyers, which just means that you have an ever greater opportunity to change lives, but also to make mistakes. And I guess I'll finish with this advice that never fear your mistakes, because fear already drives too many of all of our decisions. Instead, embrace them, because eventually your mistakes will become strengths. And by sheer perseverance, they will add to the fabric and resiliency of your life and of your career. That's not to say that you won't experience failure. You will fail, and your failure will take a toll. It's part of who you are. And as smart as you are, you'll turn inward. You may sometimes push away family and friends and colleagues, the only ones who really can help. But hopefully, you'll come around and call on the knowledge you gained these last 4 years, and remember that help is not a four-letter word. And when you need help, you'll ask for it. And even more importantly, when a colleague asks you for help, you'll take the time to listen. It's even in your oath to celebrate the gift of life as you help others. Armed with strength and warmth and the freedom of uncertainty and the power of your ideals, above all, you will persist. And you'll find and join those who are making healthcare better, safer, and less costly. And you'll join with them in this pursuit of excellence. Congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed.
Thank you so much for those inspiring words, Governor Hickenlooper. It is my pleasure to introduce Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs and Dean of the School of Medicine, Dr. John J. Riley, Jr.
So I'd like to extend my welcome to all of you, the graduates this year, our faculty and staff, friends and family of the graduates. I want to thank you all for doing what your predecessors did not do last year, which is to bring sunshine with you. I'd like to also acknowledge the fact that we are fortunate to have with us people from the class of 1967, people who graduated from medical school 50 years ago who are here joining us today in this ceremony. Dr. Austin Spitzer, Dr. Brock Willett, Dr. David Gordon, Dr. Gary Kelloff, Dr. Susan Luck, Dr. Jim Mallow, Dr. Herbert Thomas, Dr. Peter Philpott, Dr. John Sharp, Dr. Bob Stofak, Dr. Al Carr, Dr. Mel Sternholm, and Dr. Paul Steer. If we could recognize them with a round of applause. The other group I'd like to acknowledge is our faculty who are retiring. Not all of them are here with us today, but a few are, including Thomas Burrell, Lauren Golitz, Robert Lowe, David Manchester, Stephen Ringel, and Claude Saltrinkoff. If you would join me in recognizing them for their service to the university. Now, this is the part of the program where I'm supposed to impart words of wisdom to our graduating students. I'm acutely aware of the fact that I'm the only thing standing between you and what you actually came here for, which is your diplomas. So I will follow the words of one of my mentors, your Dean of Education, Dr. Robert Anderson. We all use mnemonics to memorize things in medicine, and his mnemonic for public speaking are the 3 B's. Be sincere, be brief, and be seated. And I will endeavor to do that, bearing in mind that my most vivid memory from my graduation was my father's complaints about the length of the ceremony. So on behalf of the school, I want to welcome all of you here today and congratulate you on your wisdom. You have picked a great career. It is a wonderful time to be going into medicine. People of my vintage have seen enormous changes in the field of medicine over the course of our careers, and I think that is just a foreshadowing of what you're going to experience over the course of your careers. So you will have tools available to you to keep people healthy, to treat people when they're sick, that we could only dream about. As Governor Hickenlooper alluded to, we live in tumultuous times in healthcare, and I hope that you will finish the job that we have tried to start, which is to remake the healthcare system into something that makes more sense for all patients, is a better system to work in, and does not bankrupt the country. You all got here by being highly accomplished at your pursuits before arriving at medical school, and you all matched into the wonderful residencies you're going to by excelling at medical school, which means you took a lot of tests and you knew a lot of answers. And despite this, you're entering a phase of your career where I think one of the biggest challenges is an aspect of what the governor just referred to, which is dealing with uncertainty. Patients aren't like step 1 or step 2. There is nobody who comes in with a list of, I could have one of these 5 things, tell me which one it is. And you will be dealing with uncertainty, incomplete or contradictory data as you try to counsel patients about the kinds of decisions they should make. And that is a big adjustment for people who are used to dealing with certainty. So I think you need to keep that in mind and remember that even when you do have certainty about what the right thing to do is, how you communicate that to patients is important. So no graduation speech is complete without a quote, so I'm going to quote the modern sage Bill Walton, the basketball player. I learned a long time ago that minor surgery is when they do the operation on someone else, not you. So what will become routine for you over the course of your careers is not routine for your patients, and you have to keep that in mind. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about is communication, and you heard the governor allude to this as well. How we talk about our patients and how we talk with our patients and colleagues is important. I think all of you in the course of your clinical rotations has probably heard somebody say on round sometime, this patient failed this treatment, whether it's an antibiotic or a chemotherapy or some other thing. I think it's important to remember that our patients don't fail treatments, our treatments fail patients. And keeping that in mind and understanding that is important. The fact that something is the right thing to do because it works 95% of the time does mean it's the right thing to do, but it's not a lot of consolation to that 1 out of 20 patients for whom it doesn't work. I encourage you not to hide behind jargon as you talk with patients and help them make important decisions, because they will be turning to you for advice. The second thing about communication is brought to my mind by standing here on this stage. So you heard earlier today that it's both the longest 4 years and the shortest 4 years in your life. So it was either a very long or a very short 4 years minus 2 months ago that you walked across the stage to get your white coats and stethoscopes and that ceremony that marked your entry into medical school. And in thinking about that, I'm reminded of the stethoscope and the fact that what it signifies in medicine. And to me, it signifies something very important. So we all think about the great hands of a surgeon or the great eyes of a radiologist or the great diagnostic ability of an internist. But I would say the stethoscope reminds us that the most important organ for a physician are the ears. One of the unique aspects of medicine and an advantage we have over our colleagues in veterinary medicine is that if you allow them, our patients will talk to us. And in a society that is increasingly fragmented, where it is easy to hang out with people who are just like you, it's easy to read websites that have your point of view, you are entering a profession that will put you in contact with people of varied backgrounds, with varied points of view, who all share one common thing. They're coming to you either because they want to preserve their health or they have an issue that needs to get better. You will see just as every patient is different, every family is different and has its own dynamics. You will continue to marvel at the resilience of the human spirit and how people deal with the kind of bad news that the governor alluded to earlier. And for those of you who are heading into the world of emergency medicine, you will be continually amazed at what people do to each other and do to themselves. It's said that we physicians have a front row seat in the theater of life, and it can be a very rich and rewarding play. The stories that our patients tell us are often the keys to their diagnosis, and we need to let them tell those stories. Research shows that the average doctor interrupts a patient after 18 seconds. So I encourage you, don't be average. Listen to not only to your patients, but to all the members of your team. As you've already discovered from interacting with your classmates, you will learn more from your colleagues and your patients than you will from conferences and lectures. This listening to patients is a core skill, and that will remain a constant in medicine no matter how much technology changes, no how much the electronic health record intrudes in our life. So in closing, I would say to you, congratulations on reaching this milestone. You didn't do it alone, so I would encourage you to thank those who have supported you so far as you celebrate in the rest of the day. I'm sure that they are proud of what you have accomplished, and you are too. And I would close and say that I hope you're not too proud. The most outstanding physicians that I've met share the characteristics of empathetic curiosity, humility, and at the same time self-confidence. Don't let pride prevent you from admitting when you've made a mistake, admitting when you don't know the answer, or keeping you from having an open mind when others have suggestions. I encourage you to take our profession and your professional obligations very seriously, but at the same time not to take yourselves too seriously. This is a profession in which you can do well by doing good, but it is also enormously rewarding and can be a source of great joy. So I welcome you to our profession. I thank you for all your hard work over the last 4 years. We send you out into the world hoping that you remember that you will always be part of our family and that you'll represent the University of Colorado well. So congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Miley. This year we have a special event prior to the hooding ceremony. The first medical doctorate degree is awarded posthumously to Philip Duran Stevens. I would like to invite Sandra Duran Preto and her daughter Alyssa Stevens to join me on the stage to accept Philip's degree. Philip was a member of this class, matriculating in August of 2013. Philip graduated from Texas A&M University with a bachelor's in biology and Spanish and a minor in anthropology. He later went on to get a master's in biologic anthropology at the University of Colorado Boulder. Philip traveled. He traveled to Mexico, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Spain, Italy, the Netherlands, Greece, South Korea, Spain, Thailand, Laos, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Nepal. He sincerely loved people and wanted to immerse in their cultures. His love for people, however, extended beyond curiosity. He had a strong desire to help them, and he ultimately landed here at the University of Colorado School of Medicine. I did not have the honor to meet Philip, but I have read and heard that he had a presence that filled any room he was in. He was kind, optimistic, humorous, inquisitive, and wise. Philip excelled on arrival, honoring several of his first semester classes. Unfortunately, that year, Philip also battled stage 4 glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer. Philip passed away on December 26, 2014. Philip was a big advocate for leaving the earth a better place than he found it. So I leave you with 2 quotes written and posted by Philip that are particularly impactful on this day of commencement. I really enjoy what I'm studying. It blurs the lines between work and play. And learn, teach, and do. Any opportunity you have to learn from the world or its stewards should be taken. It probably won't come again. Don't vacation. It takes the fun out of travel. Don't believe all that you think. It takes the fun out of life. Be comfortable with yourself. Don't worry what others think of you. Worry what you think of you. Everyone has different ideas of what good is, but leave the world a better place than you found it. Enjoy life. Have a great day, everyone. End quote. Sandra and Alyssa, thank you so much for joining us today. It is our sincere honor to present you with Phil's medical degree. Now we begin the hooding ceremony. Graduates, please leave your caps on your chairs and approach the platform by rows. As each graduate is hooded, we will describe something about their interests and accomplishments and where they will continue their professional education as they leave our School of Medicine. The hood that is placed on the graduates dates back to the Middle Ages as a mantle of the profession placed on the shoulders of new physicians. The hood is lined with the colors of the university, conferring the degree, and the dark green velvet trim denotes the medical degree. Graduates, when we call your name, please walk onto the platform and stand on the X to be hooded. We will ask everyone in the audience to please hold applause until everyone is hooded. Let me also introduce Dr. Wagner Shore, President of the Medical Alumni Association, and Dr. Robert Yakeley, President of the Colorado Medical Society. They will be hooding our graduates. Some graduates will be hooded by a relative or special mentor under the direction of Dr. Shore and Dr. Yakeley. Dr. Shore and Dr. Yakeley, would you please take your places? Dean Riley will present the diploma to each graduate following the hooding.
And so we begin. Jared Tyler Aronson has a bachelor's in molecular biology, biochemistry, and mathematics from the University of Colorado at Boulder. During medical school, he continued his research efforts and earned a PhD in neuroscience studying myelination in the brain. He would like to thank his friends and family, particularly his mother, sister, Andy, and Sean. Jared is being hooded by his PhD mentor, Dr. Wendy Macklin, who has had an enormous influence on his training and future career direction. Dr. Aronson will do his residency in pathology at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston.
Jaleh Mayan Akavan has a bachelor's in international affairs from the University of Colorado Boulder. During medical school, Gillet participated in Physicians for Human Rights, Global Health Track, and Gold Humanism Society, and studied pregnancy outcomes of sex workers. She is thankful for her parents, brothers, friends, and her partner, Will. She is hooded by her mentor, Dr. Tillman Farley. Dr. Akavan will complete her residency in family medicine at the University of New Mexico.
Arian Lee Anderson has a bachelor's in biology from Linfield College. He came to medical school with extensive research experience in immunology. He studied social determinants of health in the emergency department here at the University Hospital. He is being hooded by his close family friend, Dr. Elizabeth Marshall. Dr. Anderson will do his residency in emergency medicine at the Denver Health Medical Center.
Sarah Axelrath has a bachelor's degree in gender, sexuality, and feminist studies from Oberlin College. Sarah was awarded the Justina Ford Scholarship in recognition of her commitment to the underserved. She is being hooded by Dr. Sarah Christensen. She thanks the family and friends who have supported her journey. Dr. Axelrath will complete her residency in internal medicine, primary care at the Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston.
Amy Michelle Beeson graduated from Harvard and worked in Lima, Peru in community health before coming home to Colorado for medical school. After completing her clerkships in Denver Health, she spent a year doing research in rural South Africa. She is grateful for her family, especially her parents and brother Chris, friends in the classes of 2016 and 17, and mentors, especially Raul Acosta, Jennifer Adams, Steve Lowenstein, Sheila Shenoy, Gerald Friedland, and Francois Eckstein. Amy is being hooded by her parents, Dr. Deborah and John Beeson. Dr. Beeson will do her residency in internal medicine and pediatrics at CU.
Alitha Adriana Benitez has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado, Denver. She is proud to be the first physician in her family. She would like to thank her family for their continuous support, her amazing husband for his unconditional love and for always believing in her, and her 3 beautiful children, Nathan, Emma, and Benjamin, who bring so much joy to every single day. Ellie is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Alston Butterfield. Dr. Benitez will do her residency in psychiatry at the University of Colorado School of Medicine.
Brenna Ashley Benson has a bachelor's in biomedical science from Colorado State University. She is co-president of the class of 2017. Brenna is passionate about research and advocacy work with various pediatric populations and has received an Innovations Award and the Adler Scholarship. She would like to thank her incredibly supportive family and friends, her wonderful fiancé, and his loving family. Brenna is hooded today by Dr. James Feinstein. Dr. Benson will be moving to Salt Lake City to complete her residency in pediatrics at Primary Care Children's Hospital.
Alyssa Jean Blood has a bachelor's in international relations and art history from Brown University. She has served on the Medical Student Council, most recently as Medical Student Council President, and she has also served as an OSR representative. She thanks her family and friends who have supported and inspired her. Alyssa is being hooded by Dr. Brenda Buckland, a trusted mentor and friend. Dr. Blood will do her residency in general surgery at the Cornell Medical Center in New York City.
Elizabeth Freya Bosco has a bachelor's in speech language and hearing sciences and psychology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. She is being hooded by her father, Mark Howard Bosco, whose love of learning continues to inspire her. Libby would like to thank her husband for going through medical school with her parents for their constant love and supply of free meals, her brothers for keeping her up to date about the world, and the rest of her friends and family for their support. Dr. Bosco will do her residency in otolaryngology at the University of Colorado.
Amelia Lauren Bowman has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Denver. Her passion for addressing health disparities was solidified by her work before medical school at an international nonprofit. Amelia continues to pursue this passion by participating in the Urban Underserved track. She would like to thank her family and friends, especially Connor McKim. Amelia is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Gabby Frank. Dr. Bowman will do her residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Robert P.F. Brooks has bachelor's degrees in chemistry and microbiology from the University of Montana, Missoula. He wants to thank Dr. Rochon for his utmost guidance and mentorship, with a very special thanks to his wonderful wife, Rana, and for being the greatest mom to their sons, Ryan and Ian, as well as for her unwavering support and love. Dr. Brooks will do his internship at the University of Colorado in general surgery and his residency in diagnostic radiology at Albany Medical Center. Jared Brown has a bachelor's in biology from the United States Air Force Academy, where he was commissioned as an Air Force officer. He would like to thank his family, and especially his parents, for their constant support over the years. Jared is being hooded by his father, Dr. Robert Bain Brown. After graduation, Dr. Brown will return to the Air Force and complete his emergency medicine residency at Wright-Patterson Medical Center in Dayton, Ohio.
Jennifer Ann Case has a bachelor in economics from Cornell University. While in medical school, she was a member of the rural track and worked on research in pediatric heart transplantation. Jennifer is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Ty Loxweiser. She would like to thank her parents, grandparents, and family for their endless support. Dr. Case will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Washington in Seattle and Alaska.
Vivek Prabha Chadea Murray has 3 bachelor's degrees in biochemistry, molecular biology, and neuroscience from the University of Colorado in Boulder. During medical school, he completed global health projects in India and performed a dedicated year of research in orthopedic surgery, achieving numerous publications. He thanks his family and fiancée for their incredible support. Dr. Chadea Murray will do his residency in orthopedic surgery at the University of Connecticut.
Then Mimi Chou is a first-generation American and the first in her family to graduate from college. She attended Stanford University, where she majored in anthropology and human biology. In medical school, she is most proud of her work with medical students for choice and leads. Mimi is being hooded by her Foundations of Doctoring preceptor, Dr. Anna Lisa Farmer. Dr. Chou will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Washington in Seattle.
Zia Ahmed Chaudhry grew up in western Kentucky, attended Washington University in St. Louis, where he met the love of his life, Amanda Wolf, and graduated with a bachelor's degree in philosophy, neuroscience, and psychology. Through the Leads Track and Branch Student Group, he became involved in community health programming, advocacy, and health policy work. Zia took a year between 3rd and 4th year to get his master's in public health from the Colorado School of Public Health. He will do his residency in family medicine at UPMC Presbyterian Shadyside in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Zita Chou has a bachelor's and a master's degree in biomedical engineering from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. Zita is a first-generation immigrant from China, a first-generation college student, and the first healthcare professional in her family. She enjoys traveling the world during her time off. Dr. Chou will do her residency in general surgery at the University of Kentucky Medical Center in Lexington.
Robin Adam Kristin has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado at Denver. Robin is a non-traditional student working for 9 years between high school and college. During medical school, Robin was an advocate for the LGBT community and other vulnerable populations. Robin would like to thank his wonderful partner, Matt, his siblings, and the Windler family. He is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Stephen Scott. Dr. Kristin will do his residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the Rutgers, New Jersey Medical Center in Newark.
Sarai Yurigorovich Chumachenko has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Sarai is an immigrant from Ukraine and is fluent in Russian. He has a long-standing interest in neuroscience research and neuroimaging. He has a wide range of hobbies, from modifying racing cars, computers, cooking, to hiking. Dr. Chumachenko will do his residency in anesthesiology at the University of Massachusetts.
Thomas Allen Claggett has a bachelor's in biology from Colorado State University, as well as a master's in public health from the Colorado School of Public Health. Before medical school, Tom managed 2 lung cancer cohorts at the CU Cancer Center. In addition to being a husband and a father of 2 kids, Tom stayed busy in medical school doing community outreach for the Dawn Clinic and was an active member of the school's rural track. Tom is being hooded by Dr. Mark Deutschman. Dr. Claggett will do his residency in family medicine at Kootenai Health in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Joseph Michael Clare has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado, Denver. Joseph and his wife, Leah, have balanced medical school, her job, and raising their 2 wonderful children, Perrin and True. Joseph is a member of the Rural Track and Warren Village Clinic. He thanks his family for the invaluable support. He is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Mark Deutschman. Dr. Clare will do his residency in general surgery at Hennepin Medical Center in Minneapolis.
Christine Joy Clyett Brown has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown. She would like to thank her mother, Rebecca, for always believing in her and making her take time to have fun, her father, John, for teaching her to plan ahead, and her best friend, Andrew, for always listening. Most importantly, she'd like to thank her husband, Justin, for always being supportive, and her amazing son, August, for giving her life joy and purpose. Dr. Clyett Brown will do her residency in neurology at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City.
Haley Anna Crossman graduated from Marquette University with a degree in medical sciences. Her interest in social justice issues led her to pursue medicine. She has been involved in several research endeavors and have traveled to Haiti for a medical mission trip. She would like to thank all of her family, friends, and classmates for their love and support. In particular, she credits her mom, sister, and several mentors who have helped her become a physician today. Dr. Crossman will do her residency in internal medicine at the University of California, San Francisco.
Christopher Thomas Cummings has a bachelor's degree in biology from the University of Nebraska at Lincoln. Chris was a member of our medical scientist training program, completing his PhD thesis in cancer biology, studying novel therapies against lung cancer. He had 11 publications, including 3 as first author. Chris would like to thank his loving wife, daughter, parents, family, and friends for their constant support. Dr. Cummings will do his residency in pediatrics at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Raquel Guiandregui Pereira received a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado at Denver, as well as a master's in science in pharmacology from Georgetown. She would like to specifically thank her parents, Graça and Paulo Pereira, for their love and support. Raquel is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Nicole Zender. Dr. Guiandregui Pereira will do her residency in emergency medicine at Lincoln Medical Center in the Bronx, New York.
Francis John Del Rosario has a bachelor's in biomedical science from Colorado State University in Fort Collins, after which he worked as a consultant in the medical device and pharmaceutical industry. During medical school, he pursued an MBA in health administration. Francis is being hooded by his brother, Dr. Mark Del Rosario. Dr. Del Rosario will do his residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Brianna Renee Dix has a bachelor's in neuroscience from Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. Her prior experiences have included working as an EMT in New York City, teaching for a public health program, and traveling with an emergency medicine group to South Africa. She would like to thank her parents, brothers, and friends for all their love and support. Brianna is being hooded by her mother, Dr. Corinne Dix. Dr. Dix will do her residency in obstetrics and gynecology at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver.
Sergei Veniaminovich Dmitriuk received his bachelor's in physiology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. He would like to thank his parents for their support, his sister Aliona and fiancée Miriam for their understanding of what it means to be a medical professional, and Dr. Eric Hink, who inspired him to go into ophthalmology. After graduation, Dr. Dmitriuk will marry his wonderful fiancée Miriam and move to Newport News, Virginia to complete a transitional year at the Riverside Regional Medical Center before entering his ophthalmology residency at the Virginia Commonwealth University.
Jim Min Do has a bachelor's in physiology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Jim has a long-standing passion and commitment for the underserved, and he has earned numerous awards, including the Chancellor's Award. He would like to thank his girlfriend Danielle and his family for their loving support throughout this journey. Jim is being hooded by his mentor and great friend, Dr. Dominic Martinez. Dr. Du will do his residency in family medicine at St. Mary Corwin Medical Center in Southern Colorado.
Evan Lewis Dupart has a bachelor's in economics from the University of Virginia. While in medical school, Evan conducted transplant research, dedicated himself to educating underclassmen, and serving as co-social chair for his class. Evan is being hooded by his parent, Dr. Theresa M. Dupart. Dr. Dupart will do his residency in internal medicine at Washington University Barnes Jewish Hospital in St. Louis. He would like to thank his friends and family for their unwavering support in all those late nights at Beta. Laura Rebecca Malabed Eagleston has a bachelor's in integrated science from the University of Denver. Lauren would like to thank her parents, Michael and Mary Ann, her sister Sarah, and her boyfriend Josh, who have been her greatest support during medical school. She would also like to thank Drs. Richard Ng, Allison Brainerd, Tony Oliva, Christina Tossi, and Austin Butterfield for their invaluable mentorship and guidance. Lauren is being hooded by her grandfather, Dr. Leonilo Lumang Malabed. Dr. Eagleston will do her residency in anesthesiology at the University of Colorado.
Sheldon Lawrence Edwards has a bachelor in molecular biology from Johns Hopkins University and a master's in immunology from Oxford. As a Navy HPSP student, he is committed to service in the U.S. Navy. He thanks his parents, Susan and Stephen, for their continuous support and love, his friends for keeping things in balance, and his wonderful girlfriend, Victoria, for always being there. Dr. Edwards will do his residency in internal medicine at the Naval Center in San Diego. Ian Francis Eisenhower has a bachelor's in chemistry from the United States Naval Academy and came to the University of Colorado on a U.S. Navy scholarship. Ian is in the global health track and is a mentor for the Advisory College program and has served as the on the Honors Council for 4 years, including 2 years as chair. He thanks his wife April for her amazing support. Dr. Eisenhower will complete his residency in internal medicine at the Balboa Naval Medical Center in San Diego.
Andrew Parkhurst Idle has a bachelor's in music from the Juilliard School, where he studied piano performance. He then switched careers to medicine, taking a year to help his father open a medical practice in an underserved area. In medical school, Andrew was president of the Surgical Society and a recipient of the Packard Award in General Surgery. He thanks his family and friends for their support, and Dr. Paul Montero for his mentorship. Andrew is being hooded by his father, Dr. Douglas Idle. Dr. Idle will do his residency in general surgery at the University of Colorado.
James Theodore Engeln has a bachelor's in biology from Mcallis College. In medical school, James was a member of the rural track and committed to complementing his academic and clinical experiences with clinical service. He thanks his parents, his sister, and his fiancée Elise, and all those who have offered their love and support. James is being hooded by his sister, Dr. Anna K. Engeln. Dr. Engeln will do his residency in emergency medicine at the Denver Health Medical Center.
Jacob Matthew Enton has a bachelor's in physiology and psychology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. His father, Dr. Howard J. Enton, will hood him today. He has been instrumental in making Jake the person he is. Jake would also like to thank his wife Libby, who is just hooded, his mother and sisters for always supporting him in all that he does, as well as all the rest of his family and friends. Jake would not be standing here today without their love. Dr. Enton will do his residency in anesthesiology at the University of Colorado.
Adam E. Esch has a bachelor's degree in biology from Montana State University, Bozeman. Adam is a member of our rural track and the Gold Humanism Honor Society. He is a firefighter, a friend, a brother, son, grandson, and now a physician. He is thankful to have family and friends who are both here and who have passed on for guiding, inspiring, and supporting him. Dr. Esch will do his residency in emergency medicine at Denver Health Medical Center.
Allison Marie Fisher has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. During medical school, she was involved in researching pediatric nutrition, serving as a board member for the Colorado Medical Society, and volunteering as a provider and educator at Warren Village. Allison would like to thank her parents, family, and friends for their continued love and support. She would like to give a special thanks to her husband, who helped her to cope on those toughest days. Allison is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Sofia Meharena, for whom she is exceptionally grateful and by whom she is continually inspired. Dr. Fisher will complete her residency training in pediatrics at the Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Daniel Kenneth Fisher has a bachelor's in finance from Colorado State University. In medical school, Dan was part of the urban underserved track and was the executive treasurer for the Medical Student Council. He would like to thank his family and friends for their love, wisdom, and support. Dan is being hooded by his closest friend and greatest mentor, his mother, Dr. Barbara L. Fisher. Dr. Fisher will do his residency in anesthesiology at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C.
Tess Wheeler Fitzpatrick has a bachelor's in science pre-professional studies from the University of Notre Dame. While in medical school, she served as a tutor and advisor to fellow medical students. She thanks her late father for pushing her to find her passion in medicine. She thanks her mom, brother, sister-in-law, grandma, and uncle for their constant support through this long journey. Tess is being hooded by her pharmacology professor and Rockies enthusiast, Dr. Tom French, who helped her maintain perspective and humor in school. Dr. Fitzpatrick will do her residency in internal medicine at Kaiser Oakland in California.
Zebulon Friedley has a bachelor's in chemistry from Metropolitan State College of Denver. Zebulon thanks his wife, parents, sisters, nieces, nephews, all of them for their support and inspiration. Dr. Friedley will do his residency in family medicine at the St. Mary's Hospital in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Robert Matthew Garcia has a bachelor's in biology from Columbia University in New York City. Robert worked for AmeriCorps for a year between college and medical school. His love of teaching and learning led him to accept the HPSP program with an intention to achieve these goals with the military. Dr. Garcia will do his residency at the William Beaumont Army Medical Center in El Paso.
Clayton Stanford Garth has a bachelor's in history from Boston University. Clayton is a filmmaker, a writer, a husband, and a father. He credits his family for all his successes and wishes to thank them for their patience and guidance. Dr. Garth will do his residency in emergency medicine at the Hahnemann County Medical Center in Minneapolis.
Samuel Stephen Gordon has a BS in biology and BA in psychology from Gonzaga University. Sam participated in the Leads track, completing coursework in health policy. He had a major role in starting the Dawn Clinic as a division advisor, chair, and visioning team member. He thanks his mother Debbie, father Steve, and sister Amy, along with the many friends and family who supported him. Sam is being hooded by his preceptor and mentor, Dr. Carrie Ann Broderick. Dr. Gordon will do his residency in internal medicine at the UCLA Medical Center.
Justin Lee Green has a bachelor's in biochemistry from San Francisco State University. He is a member of our research track, and his work has been presented at national and regional meetings. He thanks his wife and his fiancée Kate for being there every step of the way. Justin is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Ryu. Dr. Green will do his surgical internship at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver, followed by his diagnostic radiology residency at Cottage Hospital in Santa Barbara, California.
Laura Elizabeth Gregorite has a bachelor's in humanities from Yale University. She would like to thank her parents and sisters for their love and support, and her friends and teachers for making the experience enriching and worthwhile. Laura is being hooded by her father, Todd Gregorite. Dr. Gregorite will complete her residency in general surgery in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Samuel Grossman has a bachelor's in sociology from the University of Denver, as well as a Juris Doctorate from the University of Colorado at Boulder. He thanks his family for their tireless support, his children for occasionally, only occasionally, letting him study, and the many talented baristas at Nova Coffee. Samuel is being hooded by his father, Dr. Terry Grossman. Dr. Grossman will do his residency in emergency medicine at Duke University Medical Center in Durham, North Carolina.
Andrew Daniels Hager has a bachelor's in biomedical engineering from the University of Rochester. Andrew has been an active leader in our medical student council throughout his time here. He wishes to thank his family, especially his parents, who have always been his biggest supporters. Dr. Hager will complete his residency in orthopedic surgery at Tufts Medical Center in Boston.
Michael S. Harper has a bachelor's in neuroscience from the College of William and Mary. Michael received his doctoral degree in immunology through our MST program. He thanks his parents, his sister, his fiancée. Michael is being hooded by his fiancée, Dr. Stephanie Kohler, a resident in psychiatry at Johns Hopkins. After getting married on Sunday, they will return to Baltimore, where Dr. Harper will do his residency in internal medicine at Johns Hopkins.
Emily Ann Hawes has a bachelor's in biochemistry and Spanish from Lawrence University, as well as a master's in public health epidemiology from the University of Minnesota. She has been an active part of the CU community as a member of CU Unite, the Gold Humanism Honor Society, and a co-leader of the advisory colleges. Emily is grateful to everyone for their support through the years. Emily is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Jennifer Soa. Dr. Hawes will do her residency in pediatrics at the Medical College of Wisconsin affiliated hospitals in Milwaukee.
Daniel K. Hetch has a bachelor in psychology from the University of Colorado Boulder. Daniel would like to thank his family, friends, and soon-to-be wife for their consistent support throughout his time in medical school. Daniel is being hooded by his father, Dr. Kevin Hetch. Dr. Hetch will do a transitional year followed by his residency in anesthesiology at Stanford University.
Calvin Ching Chien Ho has a bachelor's in biology from the United States Air Force Academy and a master's in physiology from Georgetown University. After graduating from U.S. Army Ranger and Advanced Urban Warfare schools, he led an infantry platoon and company in Iraq. During medical school, he has volunteered in mobile clinics in Haiti and Brazil. He thanks his family for their support. Dr. Ho will train at the Medical College of Georgia's Emergency Medicine Residency Program.
Janine Haroff has a bachelor's in neuroscience from Johns Hopkins University. During medical school, Janine published her work on intervention to decrease adverse outcomes on alcohol use in refugees. She is a member of the Urban Underserved Track. Janine is being hooded by her father, Dr. Robert Mark Haroff. Dr. Haroff will do her residency in internal medicine at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver, followed by anesthesiology at the University of Colorado.
Torbjörg Anna Holtestall has a bachelor's in molecular biology and Spanish from Pomona College. Tori is being hooded by her mother, Dr. Ann Coe. She would like to thank Walter for his unconditional support. Dr. Holtestall will do a residency in general surgery at the Madigan Army Medical Center in Tacoma, Washington.
Megan Maureen Hurley has a bachelor's in English from Rockhurst University and is working on a master's in modern human anatomy here at the University of Colorado. Megan is a member of the Global Health Track. She participated in a Denver Health LIC, providing longitudinal care for some of Denver's most vulnerable patient population. Megan is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Jennifer Adams. Dr. Hurley will do her residency in emergency medicine at LA County Medical Center in Los Angeles.
Brian Hurt has a bachelor's in aerospace engineering from the University of Texas in Austin and a master's in aerospace engineering from the University of Southern California. Prior to medical school, he worked for NASA and on Wall Street. This background served him well in the hospital and in a research capacity during medical school. He would like to thank the many people making this possible, including his wife Patricia, his daughter Charlotte, and his parents John and Kathy for their endless support. Brian is being hooded by his brother Christian Hurt. Dr. Hurt will start his residency in general surgery at the University of Colorado.
Gregory Michael Ingolia has a bachelor's in chemistry from Harvard University. He would like to thank his family and friends for their love and support. Gregory is being hooded by his father, Dr. Thomas Ingolia. Dr. Ingolia will do his residency in internal medicine at the University of Chicago.
Rachel Genoso has a bachelor's in physiology and neuroscience from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Rachel decided to become a physician after being inspired by the physician who cared for her mother during a life-threatening illness. She has published in our letters to a third-year student. She sang with the graduate choir, the Eurythmias, and she is active in her church. She would like to thank her parents for always pushing her to try new things and her family and friends for their love and support. Dr. Genoso will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Louisville, Kentucky.
Harold Jasper has a bachelor's degree in neuroscience from Oberlin College. Kyle grew up in New York and moved to Colorado to work in a neurosurgery research lab before starting medical school. He is also a member of our rural track. He thanks his family, friends, and fiancé for their constant encouragement, love, and support. Dr. Jasper will do his residency in psychiatry at the University of Colorado.
Bailey Elizabeth Johnson has a bachelor's degree in psychology from Colorado State University. She would like to thank her parents, Ruth and Dave, and her sister Sydney for their humor, patience, and incredible support. She is being hooded by Dr. Frank Scott, who has been her mentor throughout medical school. Dr. Johnson will do her residency in orthopedic surgery at Loyola University in Chicago.
Christopher Rolfe Johnson has a bachelor's in biochemistry from the University of Colorado Boulder and a master's in physiology from the University of Cincinnati. Dr. Johnson will do his residency in orthopedic surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
Theresa Johnson has a bachelor's from Pomona College. While in medical school, Tessa received a National Western Star Show scholarship. She is also a member of the rural track, consistent with her long-standing commitment to work in underserved areas. Theresa is being hooded by her father, Dr. Stephen M. Johnson. Dr. Johnson will do her residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Laura Alden Kahn has a bachelor's in science journalism from Hampshire College. She has also earned a master's in public health and received the Narrative Medicine Award for writing in medicine. She thanks her husband Morgan for his love, strength, and humor. Laura is being hooded by her father, physician-author Dr. James Kahn. Dr. Kahn will do her residency in family medicine at Northwestern University in Chicago.
Sean Kalra has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. In medical school, he became involved in the leadership of the Internal Medicine Interest Group and the Melomania's Campus Orchestra. He would like to thank his wife Heidi and his family for all their support. Sean is being hooded by his research mentor, Dr. Brendan Clark. Dr. Kalra will do his residency in internal medicine at the Yale New Haven Hospital in Connecticut.
Sine Marie Kemp has a bachelor's in biology from Colorado State University. Sine would like to thank her mom, Helen, and her grandmother, Josie, for handing down their strength, courage, and tenacity. She also thanks her brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, and especially her father, who taught her that, quote, second place is the first loser. Dr. Kemp will complete her residency in general surgery at the University of Colorado.
Sonia Jane Cotter has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of Denver. She is being hooded by her father, Dr. Jag Cotter. She would like to thank her parents, Jag and Nehru, for helping make her dreams come true, and her brother Sonny for always being a source of strength and light. Dr. Cotter will be doing her residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Kylie Joyce Kirk has a bachelor's in biology from Cornell University. She graduated with the goal of becoming a Navy physician. Kylie would like to thank her mom and brother who have always supported and inspired her. Dr. Kirk will do her residency in family medicine at the Naval Hospital Camp Pendleton in Oceanside, California.
Madeline Rovira Kerner has a bachelor's degree in human biology from Stanford University. While in medical school, she earned her master's degree in business administration with a focus on health administration from the University of Colorado at Denver. She thanks her family for their support and encouragement and her husband for keeping her smiling. She is hooded by her father, Dr. Douglas Rovira, who graduated from the University of Colorado School of Medicine in 1985. Dr. Kerner will do her residency in urology at Louisiana State University in New Orleans.
Amelia Brooks Cryan-Camp has a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Wellesley College. Amelia came into medical school with a background in computer programming and did bioinformatics research. She would like to thank her family, especially her parents, whose love has been independent of academic success. Dr. Cryan-Camp will do her residency in pediatrics at St. Louis Children's Hospital at Washington University.
Michelle Quay has a bachelor's in public health from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Michelle would like to thank her parents for their unwavering love, faith, and support. She wouldn't have made it through this process without them. Michelle is being hooded by her father, Dr. Chuhan Quay. Dr. Quay will do her residency in general surgery at the University of Illinois at Chicago.
Regina Kwan has a bachelor's in literature from Yale University. Regina is from New York City, where she worked in publishing and internet startups. She would like to thank the faculty, staff, and students at CU. She is also grateful for her parents' consistent support. Regina is being hooded by her friend and mentor, Dr. Terry Blevins. Dr. Kwan will do her residency in pathology at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore.
Benjamin Michael Leon has a bachelor's in human biology and health policy from Wake Forest University. He spent 2 years conducting research at the NIH. Ben would like to give a special thanks to his friends, family, and his beautiful wife, Nicole, for their love and support through his medical journey. Ben is being hooded by his friend and mentor, Dr. Kelly White. Dr. Leon will do his residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Xiaomeng Li has a bachelor's in biochemistry and molecular biology from the University of Colorado Boulder and a doctorate in pharmacy from the University of Colorado. She would like to thank her mother, father, and significant other. Nora is being hooded by her friend, Dr. Letitia Shea. Dr. Lee will do a preliminary year in medicine at the University of Colorado, followed by a residency in physical medicine and rehabilitation at the University of Washington.
Gia Lin has a bachelor's degree in biochemistry from the University of Massachusetts. While in medical school, she received a master's degree from the Colorado School of Public Health and traveled to Cuba and Costa Rica to study their healthcare systems. She thanks her family for their unconditional love and support. She also would like to extend her gratitude to Ray Field and her adopted family in Colorado for believing in her and being her biggest cheerleaders. Gia is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Enrique Alvarez, who introduced her to the exciting world of neurological research. Dr. Lin will do a residency in neurology at Wayne State University in Detroit.
Nicole Eden Look has a bachelor's in applied mathematics from the University of Colorado Boulder. She was selected for junior AOA and served as the vice president. Nicole has published research in orthopedics as part of the research track. She is incredibly appreciative of the ongoing support from her parents and sister, Lois, Doug, and Danny Look. Dr. Look will do her residency in orthopedic surgery at the University of Colorado.
Margaret Jane Reese McGill Collins has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of California, San Diego, and a PhD in reproductive science from the University of Colorado. While in medical school, she continued her women's health research and participated in community programs for young women in science. She would like to thank all her friends, family, and mentors for their support and encouragement. Margaret is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Jacob Friedman. Dr. McGill Collins will do her residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the University of New Mexico.
Elizabeth Nicole Malik has a bachelor's in biology from Trinity University. Liz is a member of our rural track and also has an interest in international medicine. She would like to thank her family, friends, and fiancé for their ongoing love and support through each new adventure. Liz is being hooded by her father, Dr. Alan Malik. Dr. Malik is excited to begin her residency in emergency medicine at the Denver Health Medical Center.
Brian Jacob Mark has a bachelor's in physiology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. He has been on multiple medical missions to Nicaragua and has remained actively involved in research and teaching throughout his studies. He thanks his parents, brother, grandparents, Addison, Dr. Scott, and friends for their constant support through medical school. Brian is being hooded by his brother, Dr. Justin Mark. Dr. Mark will do his residency in orthopedic surgery at the University of California, Irvine.
Sarah Elizabeth Marcus has a bachelor's in biophysical chemistry from Dartmouth College and a master's in biomedical sciences from Tufts University. She has been a financial aid representative for her class as well as a fourth-year treasurer. She would like to thank her friends and families for their support. Sarah is being hooded by her long-term mentor, Dr. Kent Petrie. Dr. Marcus will do her residency in emergency medicine at Denver Health Medical Center.
Kevin James McAllister has a bachelor's in biochemistry from Lewis and Clark College. Between college and medical school, he devoted himself to research in the field of antiviral pharmacology. During medical school, Kevin has been very involved in the leadership of the student-run pediatric clinic at Warren Village and has continued to contribute to HIV research. He thanks his parents and mentors for their unfaltering support. Kevin is being hooded by his friend, teacher, and mentor in rural medicine, Dr. Mark Deutschman. Dr. McAllister will do his residency at the University of Arizona College of Medicine in Tucson.
Sarah Chain McLeroy has a bachelor's in English from Western State Colorado University. She participated in a rural track and is commissioned with the U.S. Army. This occurred during her fourth year. She thanks her family, Gina, Kevin, Hannah, and Dusty. Sarah is being hooded by her husband, Dr. Robert McLeroy. Dr. McLeroy will do her residency in internal medicine at the Madigan Army Medical Center in Tacoma, Washington.
Mia Marie McNulty has a bachelor's in English literature and political science from the University of Colorado at Boulder. She is a member of the research track. She would like to thank her family and friends for their constant support. Mia is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. John Zenos, the orthopedic surgeon who introduced her to medicine and fostered her love of orthopedics. Dr. McNulty will do her residency in orthopedic surgery here at the University of Colorado.
Mira Ann Melton has a bachelor's degree in biochemistry from the University of Denver, as well as a master's in business administration. Mira was a college advisor and is a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. She would like to thank her family, friends, mentors, and especially her husband, Craig. Mira is being hooded by her inspiring sister, Dr. Arwen Kelly Kristin. Dr. Melton will do her residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Lauren Samantha Miller has a bachelor's in chemistry from the Princeton University. Lauren was involved in research on inflammatory bowel disease while in medical school. She will be hooded by her mother, Dr. Gail Miller. Dr. Miller will participate in the 2018 match.
Julio Cesar Montejano has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of Denver. He pursued research while in medical school and received numerous awards and scholarships. Julio is being hooded by his research mentor, Dr. Natalie Sakova. Dr. Montejano will do his internship in internal medicine at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver, followed by anesthesia at the University of Colorado.
Daphne Maria Motsoglu has a bachelor's degree in microbiology and chemistry from South Dakota State University. Daphne completed a PhD in immunology studying peanut allergies. She also served on the organizing committee for the National Student MD-PhD Conference as president of the Melomania Orchestra and the steering committee for the Music and Medicine Initiative. She would like to thank her husband, friends, and family, thesis advisor Dr. Steve Dreskin, and preceptors Dr. Dan Atkins and Dr. Raful Alam. Daphne is being hooded by her spouse, Dr. Daniel Friedrichs. Dr. Mutsoglu will complete her residency in internal medicine at the University of Minnesota.
Joanne Elizabeth Mueller has a bachelor's in biochemistry from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Joanne was born and raised in Colorado and is a member of our rural track. She would like to thank her family and friends for their constant support and encouragement. Joanne is being hooded by a family friend, Dr. Chad Wright. Dr. Mueller will do her residency in internal medicine at the University of Utah.
Amy Dubé Nelson has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. She was a voting member on the Colorado Medical Society's Council on Legislation. Amy is also a member of the Leads Track and was selected for the Gold Humanism Honor Society. She thanks her husband Jonathan and her parents Scott and Barb for their support and encouragement. Amy is being hooded by her father, Dr. Scott Dubé. Dr. Nelson will complete her residency training in internal medicine at the Oregon Health and Science University in Portland.
Han Vu Nguyen has a bachelor's in biology and physiology from the University of Denver. Han was a member of the Air Force HSPT program during medical school. He thanks his parents for their love and support, brother for always keeping his spirits up, and close friends for their encouragement. Dr. Nguyen will do his residency in emergency medicine at UC Davis Medical Center in Sacramento, California.
Mindy Nguyen has a bachelor's in neuroscience from the Colorado College. She would like to thank her mom, family, friends, and her girlfriend Ashley for their unwavering support through this journey. Mindy is being hooded by her pediatric mentor, Dr. Megan Traits. Dr. Nguyen will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Colorado.
Sunny Truong Nguyen has a bachelor's in molecular and cellular biology from the University of California, Berkeley. While in medical school, he served as a member of the curriculum steering committee. He will be the first physician in his family. He thanks his parents for their unending sacrifices and his siblings and his friends for their unwavering support. Dr. Nguyen will do his residency in internal medicine at the Harbor UCLA Medical Center in Torrance, California.
Tan Huong Le Nguyen has a bachelor's in molecular biology and French from the University of Denver, where she contributed to neurobiology research under the mentorship of Dr. John Kinnaman, who will be hooding her today. She thanks her mother, Cam Le, for her countless hours of strict lessons and character-building moments. She thanks her father, Mon Nguyen, for giving her the support that she needs to build a dream. She stands here today because of each of you. Dr. Nguyen is excited to start her residency in pediatrics at Valley Children's Healthcare in California.
Samantha Nino earned a bachelor's in chemistry from Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee. Sam has been actively involved in community service and orthopedic research. She would like to thank her mother, Trudy. This accomplishment is as much her mom's as it is her own. Sam is being hooded by her role model in orthopedics, Dr. Samuel E. Smith. Dr. Nino will be doing an orthopedic surgery residency at the Orlando Health Residency Program in Orlando, Florida.
William James O'Donnell has a bachelor's in political science from the University of Colorado at Boulder. He is forever grateful to those who have supported and encouraged his aspirations of becoming a physician. He would like to thank his grandfather, who is a model of generosity, kindness, and strength, his family for being a stable source of love, support, and guidance, and Jale for being a constant reminder of what is right, both in action and in speech. Dr. O'Donnell will do his residency in emergency medicine at the University of New Mexico.
Tyler Stephen Oakland has a bachelor's in biomedical science from the Colorado State University. As a medical student, Tyler earned a T32 grant for his otolaryngology research. He also has a passion for global medicine. Tyler would like to thank his loved ones for seeing the figure within the stone. He is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Timothy Bernard. Dr. Oakland will perform his residency in head and neck surgery at Stanford.
George James Olsen has a Bachelor's of Arts in International Relations and Economics from the George Washington University, as well as a Master's in Education from the University of Colorado at Denver. George worked for Denver Public Schools for 3 years through Teach for America, which shaped his passion for urban underserved medicine. During medical school, he participated in the urban underserved track, as well as the Denver Health LIC. George is being hooded by his uncle, Dr. Thomas Olsen. Dr. Olsen will do his residency in family medicine at Swedish Medical Center here in Denver.
Solomon Hamdi Ushi has a bachelor's in biology from New Mexico State University. Solomon received a presidential medical scholarship, served on the admissions committee, and as president of the Neurosurgical Interest Group. He has also been a volunteer swim instructor for Special Olympics in Colorado. Solomon is being hooded by his father, Dr. Hamdi Oshie. Solomon will do his residency in neurologic surgery at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota.
Alida Rose Ovrutsky has a bachelor's in biology from Bates College. She helped pilot a community research partnership with refugees from Burma. Alida is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Jennifer Adams. Dr. Ovrutsky will do a residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Colorado.
Arcadia Marie Payne has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Chicago. Arcadia received a President's Medical Scholarship and was a member of the LEAD track. She was also a group leader during the development of our student-run clinic. She is being hooded by her father, Dr. Michael Payne. Arcadia will do her residency in internal medicine at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore.
Austin Michael Park has a bachelor's in biochemistry from George Fox University. Austin was also a member of the Navy HPSP. He is thankful for his fiancée, Megan, who has provided unflagging support, the encouragement from his parents and his climbing friends, who he hopes will continue to rock on. Dr. Park will begin his residency with a transitional year at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego.
Hannah Marie Peterson has a bachelor's in chemical and biochemical engineering from the Colorado School of Mines. Hannah is a presidential scholar with a passion for advocacy and public health. Hannah would like to thank her mom, stepdad, sister, brother, and her fiance for their unconditional love and support. Dr. Peterson will do a preliminary year in internal medicine at Baylor, followed by dermatology at Baylor Scott and White.
Warren Woodrich Patine has a bachelor's from Colorado College. Following Warren's graduation from Colorado College, he was involved in policymaking and neuroscience research. He continued these activities in medical school, successfully working on state health policy legislation, and was awarded a year-long Howard Hughes Fellowship. He would like to thank his mother and father for their inspirational example. Warren is being hooded by his father, Dr. Kenneth Allen Patine. Warren will begin a computational neuroscience research postdoc at NYU this summer.
Hui Fawn has a bachelor in biology from Stanford University. While in medical school, he showcased his photography in galleries across campus. He would like to thank his family, the Wilkerson family, and his girlfriend Cynthia for their love and support. He is being hooded by Cynthia Nguyen, who consistently pushes him to become a better person. Dr. Fawn will complete his residency in internal medicine at Olive View UCLA Medical Center.
Ryan David Petrick has a bachelor's and master's in biomedical science from Colorado State University. He participated in the South Africa Emergency Medicine Foundation in Cape Town during medical school. He would like to thank his family, his fiancée Maggie, and all his friends for their incredible support. He would especially like to thank his late mentor, Dr. Elise Brown. Ryan is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Jeffrey Suhu. Dr. Petrick will do his preliminary year at Legacy Emmanuel Good Samaritan Program in Portland, followed by ophthalmology at the University of Colorado.
Tiffany K. Poynton has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado, Denver. Over the last 4 years, Tiffany has developed a passion for pediatric neurology and caring for children with special needs. She would like to thank her family for her unwavering support and her mentors for guiding her. Tiffany is being hooded by her role model, Dr. Ellen Elias. Dr. Poynton will be doing her residency in child neurology at the University of Colorado.
Blake Michael Preemy has a bachelor's in molecular, cellular, and developmental biology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Before medical school, Blake served in the Army and deployed overseas multiple times as a Green Beret. Here at CU, he organized events for the ultrasound and emergency medicine interest groups. Blake would like to thank his family for always believing in him and his fiancée Julia for her unwavering support. He is being hooded by his uncle, Dr. Stephen Teisch. Dr. Preemy will do his residency in emergency medicine at the Jacobi Montefiore Medical Center in New York City.
Christina Marie Poles has a bachelor's in French language and studio art from the University of Denver. During medical school, Christina was in the rural track. She thanks her supportive family and understanding friends. Christina is being hooded by her mother and father, Drs. Kate and Ted Poles. Dr. Poles will do her residency in family medicine at St. Mary's Hospital in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Sinead Raouf has a bachelor's in psychology and international studies from Yale University. Consistent with his long-standing commitment to global health, Sinead moved to Uganda between his third and fourth year to be part of a national malaria surveillance team with the support of the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation. Sinead is being hooded by his friend and sensei, Dr. Jessica Rice. Dr. Raouf will do his residency in emergency medicine at the University of California, San Francisco.
Molly Patricia Ray has a bachelor's in biology from Arizona State University. She is proud of her work with the Dawn Clinic, the Pediatric and Emergency Medicine Interest Group, and her research in sepsis. She would like to thank her parents, family, friends, and mentors for all their support and encouragement. Molly is being hooded by her childhood pediatrician and mentor, Dr. Jody Matthey. Dr. Ray will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Texas in Austin.
Lindsay Elise Reed has a bachelor's in chemical engineering from the Tennessee Technological University. Lindsay was a member of our first EPAC class, and she was also honored to be involved in the SABES program. She thanks her family and the EPAC team for their continual efforts and support throughout the last 4 years. Lindsay is being hooded by her preceptor and mentor, Dr. Lindsay Lane. Dr. Reed will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Colorado.
Magdalena Christine Reinswald has a bachelor's in political science from Colorado College. Maggie has been dedicated to service and health equality throughout medical school. She would like to thank her parents and mentors for teaching her the value of humanism and always challenging her to improve the world around her. Maggie is being hooded by her parents, Drs. Lori and Robert Reinswald. Dr. Reinswald will do her residency in family medicine at the Ventura County Medical Center in California.
James Michael Rosinski has a bachelor's in biology from the Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. He would like to thank his father, Larry, for teaching him how to be an adult, his mother, Christina, for always pushing him to improve, and his sister, Christy, for being his two-egg twin guide to the world. James will remain at the University of Colorado to complete his residency in psychiatry.
Devin Robert Rigg has a bachelor's in neuroscience from Brigham Young University. In addition to his academics, Devin is a dedicated husband and father of 2 girls. Devin would like to thank his wife, Stephanie, for being his better half, as well as his parents, siblings, and friends. Devin is being hooded by his father, Dr. Robert W. Rigg, Jr., who graduated from medical school at CU. Devin will do his residency in general surgery at Clayton University in Omaha, Nebraska.
Kenny David Rodriguez Ramos has a bachelor's in nursing from Brigham Young University, Idaho. He worked as a hospice and pediatric nurse prior to beginning medical school. While in medical school, Kenny served in the Army National Guard and participated in several other extracurricular activities, including completing a medical mission in northern India. Kenny would like to thank his wife, Harmony, and children, Austin, Daisy, and Parker, along with his parents for their continued support. Kenny is being hooded by his mentor and commanding officer, Dr. Mark H. Chandler. Dr. Rodriguez will do a residency in otolaryngology at the University of Colorado.
Rosa Rodriguez has a bachelor's in chemistry from Florida International University and a master's in immunology from the University of Colorado. She is a first-generation Cuban American and the first medical doctor in her family. Rosa thanks her family, especially her mother and her fiancé. She is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Eva Agard. Dr. Rodriguez will do her internship in surgery at St. Joseph's in Denver, followed by a physical medicine and rehabilitation residency at the University of Miami.
Douglas Alexander Rook has a bachelor's in chemistry from Colby College, as well as a doctorate in organic chemistry from Colorado State University. Doug had to decide between becoming the head brewer at a craft brewery startup and going to medical school. He never regretted the decision. He would not be where he is today without the support of his wife Holly, his dog Moose, his family, and beer. Doug is moving back home to Seattle to do his residency in anesthesiology at the University of Washington.
Shoshana Eve Rosenthal has a bachelor's in molecular biology and biochemistry and a master's in biotechnology from Boston University. In medical school, Shoshana was awarded a T32 grant for her research in rheumatology. Shoshana would like to thank her family and friends, her fiancé Finn, and her mother Karen. Dr. Rosenthal will do her residency in emergency medicine at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, Michigan.
Alan Rouen has a bachelor's in science from the University of Pennsylvania. Alan has volunteered at the Warren Village Clinic, taught tobacco prevention for elementary children in the Tar Wars program, and served on the medical school admissions committee. Alan would like to thank his parents, his brother Luke, and his fiancée Hannah for their endless support. Dr. Rouen will be completing his residency in pediatrics at the Baylor Scott & White McLean Children's Hospital in Temple, Texas.
Ramses Abraham Saavedra has a bachelor's in biochemistry from New Mexico State University. At the School of Medicine, Ramses received the Research in Equity Scholarship. Sorry about the plane. Dr. Saavedra will do his residency in general surgery at the University of New Mexico.
Jason Arthur Santiago has a bachelor's in sports medicine from Pepperdine University, as well as a master's in biological sciences from the University of Denver. He served on the Student Professionalism Committee and was selected for the Gold Humanism Honor Society. He would like to thank his wife, Ashley, for being a tremendous partner and friend, and his family for their endless love and support. Jason is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Jennifer Armstrong. Dr. Santiago will do his residency in child neurology at Phoenix Children's Hospital. We're going to pause for a moment. I think the helicopter beats us.
say his last line really loudly.
Dr. Santiago will do his residency in child neurology at Phoenix Children's Hospital. Thank you for waiting for us.
Maitri Lakshmi Sarangam has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Oregon. During medical school, she has been a teacher and advisor for students and parents of pediatric patients. She was accepted into the AOA and the Gold Humanism Honor Society. She is grateful to her parents and brothers for their immense support, and to her friends. Dr. Sarangam will do her residency in pediatrics at the University of Washington, Seattle Children's Hospital.
Anne Elizabeth Shields has a bachelor's in mathematics from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Anne also has a master's and doctoral degree in mathematics from the University of Chicago. She taught in 3 university systems prior to medical school. She's in the rural track and is dedicated to serving rural communities in Colorado. She thanks her family for their continued support and encouragement. Anne is being hooded by her brother, Dr. William Shields. Dr. Shields will do her residency in general surgery at St. Joseph's Hospital here in Denver.
Kristin Marie Schmidt has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Denver. She is a member of our global health track and was a student leader in the advanced Salves course. She thanks her family, friends, Dr. Sue Ryan, Dr. Don Lefkowitz. Kristin is being hooded by her preceptor, Dr. Donald Lefkowitz. Dr. Schmidt will do her residency in emergency medicine at St. Louis University.
Veronica Bernadette Searles Quick has a BA in International Relations and BS in Marine Biology from Brown University. During medical school, she served in student leadership, conducting research leading to her PhD, and participated in community outreach. She would like to thank her family and her husband, Eamon, who has been unfailingly supportive and encouraging during her training. Veronica is being hooded by her parents, Valerie Resiga and Donald Searles. Dr. Searles Quick will do her residency in psychiatry at UCSF.
Alyssa A. Self has a bachelor's in biology from Brown University. She was a student representative to the Essentials Core Committee and a member of our admissions committee. She was selected for junior AOA and received the American College of Physicians Award in Internal Medicine. She would like to thank her parents, friends, and rest of her family, particularly noticing her parents. I'm going to wait a moment. All right, I will finish that up. She would like to thank her family and friends, particularly her parents. Dr. Self will do her residency in internal medicine at Barnes Jewish Hospital in St. Louis.
Brittany Ann Schilling has a bachelor's in biology from Regis University. Brittany completed an MBA with a concentration in health administration, as well as completing research in common diagnoses in critical access hospitals in rural Colorado. She and her husband are raising their first child. She thanks her family and friends for their unwavering support. Brittany is being hooded by her husband, Dr. Alexander Schilling. Dr. Schilling will complete her residency in anesthesiology at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor.
Brianne Smouse has a bachelor's in English Literature and Integrative Physiology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. During medical school, she was a member of the admissions committee and rural track. She thanks her parents for always believing in her and the class of 2017 for their inspiration and support. Bree is being hooded by her father, Dr. William M. Schaefer. Dr. Smouse will do her residency in internal medicine at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver.
Vera Marie Staley has a bachelor's in biology from Denison University. She was a member of the LEADS track, which cultivated a passion for health policy, team-based underserved care, preventative medicine, and a holistic focus on the patient. She would like to thank Matt, her family, her friends, and her wonderful classmates for their unwavering support throughout medical school. Vera is being hooded by Dr. Steve Lowenstein, who has been an invaluable mentor and friend. Dr. Staley will do her internship in internal medicine at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver, followed by a residency in physical medicine and rehabilitation at the University of Colorado.
Alexander Wakefield Steinberg has a bachelor's in computer science from Dartmouth College. He is co-director of the Advisory College Program, a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Alex would like to acknowledge his family, fiance, and dear friends. Alex is being hooded by his father, Dr. Charles Steinberg. Dr. Steinwood is thrilled to start his residency in internal medicine at St. Joseph's Hospital in Denver.
Jennifer Lynn Sternberg has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of California, Berkeley. She would like to thank her parents, sister, Grandpa Irvin, and boyfriend Mark for their endless patience, encouragement, and love. Jennifer is being hooded by the surprisingly attractive Dr. Thomas French. Dr. Sternberg will complete her residency in obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles.
Erickson Isaac Stone has a bachelor's in biology from Regis University. Sonny is a first-generation college student who was raised in rural Colorado. He is a member of our rural track and was a co-leader of our Rural Health Scholars Program. He would like to thank his parents for their support. Sonny is being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Marie Dominique Franco. Dr. Stone will do his residency in internal medicine at the University of Colorado.
Whitney Ann Sumner has a bachelor's in biochemistry from the University of Denver. During medical school, she continued her passion for translational research and also served as co-president for the class of 2017. She would like to thank her husband, parents, and family for their unwavering love and support. Dr. Sumner is being hooded by Dr. Sana Karam. Dr. Sumner will do a transitional year at the Colorado Health Foundation in Denver, followed by radiation oncology at UC San Diego.
Alex Dennis Sundet has a bachelor's in biochemistry from the University of Montana, where he contributed to research in bioinformatics and computational modeling. While in medical school, he was a member of the admissions committee and steering committee for students interested in orthopedics. He completed research in orthopedic oncology. He is thankful for his family, especially for his niece Claire. Dr. Sundet will do a residency in orthopedics at the University of Vermont.
Kenji Tanabe has a bachelor's in biology from Stanford University. During medical school, he collaborated with the Interprofessional Education Program and participated in the Health Innovation Scholar Program. He is so grateful for the constant support of his family, friends, and many mentors. Kenji is being hooded by his pediatric mentor, Dr. Ty Loxbizer. Dr. Tanabe will do his residency in pediatrics at the University of Colorado.
Samuel Hagos Tresfaladet graduated from Duke University with a BA in philosophy and pre-medical studies. At the School of Medicine, Sam received a Copic Medical Scholarship and a Dream Summer Research Fellowship. Sam has been involved in research projects in the area of oncology, interventional radiology, and quality improvement. He will complete a transitional year at Bassett Columbia Medical Center in Cooperstown, New York, and then return to the University of Colorado to complete his radiology residency.
Aaron Lena Thiele has a bachelor's in history and Spanish literature from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Aaron served as a dedicated leader at Wharton Village Clinic, a college advisor for Red Cloud, and a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. She wants to thank her supportive and caring family, dear friends who keep her going, and endlessly patient and selfless husband, Stephen. Her mother and constant inspiration, Dr. Kristin Royer, is hooding Aaron. Dr. Thiele will do her residency in anesthesiology at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville.
Ajay Thomas has a bachelor's in biochemistry from James Madison University. Ajay was a fellow at the NIH before joining the MST program. In addition to his research in epilepsy, he served as president of the Student Senate and represented all 55,000 CU students to the Board of Regents. Ajay is being hooded by his wife and mentor, Dr. Shruti Thomas. He would like to thank his family and friends for their support. Dr. Thomas will do his residency in child neurology at Baylor.
Theodore Allen Timothy has a bachelor's in biochemistry from Indiana University. While in medical school, he served as co-president of the medical students section of the Colorado Medical Society. This past year, he served as an advisor for Conundrum College and finally got his money's worth from a ski pass. He would like to thank his wife Helen for being so supportive these past 4 years. Theodore is being hooded by his parents, Dr. Deborah Irene Allen and Dr. John William Timothy Jr. Dr. Timothy will do his residency in anesthesiology at the University of Colorado.
Jacqueline Toe has a bachelor's in human biology from Stanford University. She was a member of the Urban Underserved Track, co-founder of the Dawn Clinic, and a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. She would like to thank her parents, her preceptor, Jennifer Stitchman, and her loving husband, Frank. Jacqueline is being hooded by her mentor and friend, Dr. Joseph Johnson. Dr. Toe will do her residency in internal medicine at University of California, San Francisco.
Dong Vi Tran has a bachelor's in biochemistry from the Portland State University. She would like to thank her family, fiancé, and friends for their unconditional love and support, and her mentors, Dr. Sorojini Budden and Julie Parsons, whose humanism will continue to be an inspiration for her throughout her career. Tuong Vi is being hooded by Dr. Julie Parsons. Dr. Tran will do her residency in child neurology at the UC Irvine Medical Center in California.
Garrett Nicholas Urban has a bachelor's in molecular biology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Garrett was a member of our rural track and served as co-president of the Family Medicine Interest Group. He would like to thank his wife, Daylin. Garrett is being hooded by Dr. Mark Deutschman. Dr. Urban will do his residency in family medicine at Swedish Medical Center in Englewood, Colorado.
Christopher F. Verani has a bachelor's in aeroscience engineering from the University of Michigan, a master's of business administration from Oklahoma State University, and a master's of finance from the University of Colorado. Chris is a fighter pilot and officer who logged over 2,000 flight hours during 12 years of service in the Air Force. During medical school, he worked at Physicians Ally and volunteered with the Dawn Clinic. Christopher is being hooded by his grandfather, Dr. James Langley. Dr. Verani will do his residency in anesthesiology at the Oregon Health and Science University in Portland.
Thad Weston Vickery has a bachelor's in chemistry from Skidmore College, and he then performed research for 3 years at Brigham and Women's Hospital. He was the pilot member of our Scholars Year, taking an additional year to do research in ENT. Thad thanks his mentor, Dr. Ramakrishnan, Dr. Kabera Muffley, and Dr. Frank. Thad is being hooded by his father, Dr. Brock Vickery. Dr. Vickery will do his residency in otolaryngology at the UCLA Medical Center.
Albert Huan Vu has a bachelor's in biology from the University of California, Irvine. With the unwavering support and love of his parents, John and Huang Vu, and his family, Albert has been able to achieve the highest honor of his life. He will never forget where he came from and is excited to continue on this wonderful journey with his significant other, Hong Nguyen. Dr. Vu will do his residency in pediatrics at Valley Children's Healthcare in Madera, California.
Gregory David Weiner has a bachelor's in mechanical engineering from the University of Florida. Greg then worked for several years as an EMT and ski patrol. During this time, he realized his passion for medicine. He thanks his family and friends who helped along this journey. Gregory is being hooded by his friend and mentor, Dr. Laura Sainert. Dr. Weiner will start his residency at the University of Colorado.
Maria Elena Olvera Williams graduated from the University of Arizona with degrees in physiology and Spanish. During medical school, she researched access to mental health care. She would like to thank her friends and family who have been tremendously supportive throughout her education. Dr. Williams will do her residency in anesthesiology at the University of Kansas Medical Center in Kansas City.
Lauren Winsauer has a bachelor's in biology from the Taylor University Upland. She is a member of the Urban Underserved Track and looks forward to serving communities as a primary care pediatrician. She thanks her husband Mason as well as friends and family for their encouragement and support. Lauren is being hooded by his grandfather, Dr. M. Kenneth Kaufman. Dr. Winsauer will do her residency in pediatrics at the Advocate Lutheran General Hospital in Park Ridge, Illinois.
Amy Louise Winstead has a bachelor's in biology from Wellesley College. She has been humbled by and is grateful for the professional and personal growth during the past 4 years. She will apply to family medicine residencies this upcoming fall.
Rachel Wojcik has a bachelor's in biology from Mercyhurst College and a master's in global affairs from the University of Denver. Rachel was a member of the Global Health Track, serving on the steering committee. She would like to thank her family for being so supportive and all her classmates because she could have never been a doctor without everyone's kindness. Rachel is being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Barry Rumack. Dr. Wojcik will do her residency in internal medicine at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center.
Matthew Michael Wood has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Matthew worked at a free clinic for people without insurance in Colorado Springs and did research with a mentor in pediatrics about shared decision-making for parents with children who have complex medical needs. Matthew is being hooded by Dr. Eva Agard. Dr. Wood will do his residency in pediatrics at Loma Linda University.
James Yaroslav Yarovoy has a bachelor's in biology from the University of Colorado, Denver. James was born in Ukraine, living there until he was 15 when he moved to Colorado with his parents and sister. He speaks Ukrainian, Russian, and English. James is being hooded by his preceptor, Dr. James Reagan. Dr. Yarovoy will do his residency in emergency medicine at the SUNY Upstate Medical Center in Syracuse, New York.
Michael Kenneth Zemke has a bachelor's in biochemistry from Fort Lewis College. He wants to thank his parents for always supporting him. Dr. Zemke will do his residency in neurological surgery at the University Hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. Please join us in congratulating the class of 2017.
I would also like to acknowledge and ask you to thank the student life staff, the faculty marshals, and the student and staff volunteers that have all come out today. Dean Anderson will come to the podium and lead us in the oath.
Will the class of 2017 stand to take the physician's oath, which can be found on the next to last page of your program? The class of 2017 would like to invite all physicians present in the audience today who would like to reaffirm their oath to stand with them. I'll read the oath, and then the class of 2017 and participating physicians can recite after me. I swear by what is sacred to me that I will fulfill, according to my ability and judgment, this oath and this covenant. I devote myself to the health of humanity with full respect for the dignity and worth of each person. Above all, I will strive to do no harm. I recognize that my knowledge and skills are imperfect and that I must always seek further training and growth. I will not perform treatments for which I am not qualified, and I will call upon others for help. In turn, I will gladly render aid when asked.
I recognize that my knowledge and skills are imperfect, and that I must always seek further training and growth. I will not perform treatments for which I am not qualified, and I will call upon others for help. In turn, I will gladly render aid when asked.
I commit myself to the profession of medicine, to the advancement of scientific knowledge, and to the education and mentorship of those who follow me.
I commit myself to the profession of medicine, to the advancement of scientific knowledge, and to the education and mentorship of those who follow me.
I will respect the rights of my patients and colleagues and shall safeguard those confidences placed in me.
I will respect the rights of my patients and colleagues, and shall safeguard those confidences placed in me.
I will speak out when silence is wrong. I will respect the law, but I will not fail to seek changes that would reduce suffering or contribute to good health.
I will speak out when silence is wrong. I will respect the law, but I will not fail to seek changes that will reduce suffering or contribute to good health.
I recognize the trust that has been placed in me by society and by my colleagues. I will at all times comport myself with dignity, honesty, humility, and integrity.
I recognize the trust that has been placed in me by society and by my colleagues. I will at all times comport myself with dignity, honesty, humility, and integrity.
These things I do swear solemnly, freely, and upon my personal and professional honor.
These things I do swear solemnly, freely, and upon my personal and professional honor.
Nice job, class of 2017. I believe you're good to go. Well, we'll have a final word by one of our assistant deans.
So this concludes our 2017 graduation ceremonies. There will be a formal recessional. Please, after the recessional has occurred and all the graduates have processed down, please join them afterwards. Congratulations to our new physicians.